Ever feel like your prayers are just hitting a ceiling? Or maybe that you're not quite worthy enough to ask for what you really need? Well, today, we're going to dive into a really powerful idea from our source material, the concept that salvation doesn't just forgive, it actually grants us a direct, confident line to God. Let's dig into what that really means.
Just think about that for a second. What if every single time you prayed there was zero doubt, no hesitation, just a clear, confident connection? That's the powerful promise we're looking at today. But, to really get how we get there, we first have to understand the massive obstacle that used to stand in the way.
Right. So to appreciate the solution, you've got to understand the problem. And the source material paints this really stark picture of a massive wall, a huge separation that once stood between humanity and God. What's so powerful about this is how it helps you visualize the problem, right? This barrier of sin wasn't just some small misunderstanding. It was a deep, fundamental separation. It's like trying to have a real heart-to-heart conversation through a thick stone wall. That's the kind of distance we're talking about. But here's the good news. That barrier was never the end of the story. The source material shows us this radical solution. A bridge, basically, thrown right across that chasm, designed to restore the direct access that we lost. And here is the crucial insight. Salvation isn't some passive idea. Nope, it's an active force that completely shatters that barrier. So it's not just a bridge, it's the actual demolition of the wall, giving us back a direct line of communication that was thought to be gone forever. And this quote from Hebrews, it just brings it all home. This is the heart of the entire idea. Just look at that one powerful word, boldly. Not timidly, not carefully, but with absolute, unwavering confidence. That's a total game-changing invitation. So, what does this boldness actually look like for us? How does it change the very nature of prayer? Well, it's a complete 180-degree transformation. This comparison really says it all. I mean, on the left, you can almost feel the weight of prayer as this heavy-duty, this lonely plea into a vast, empty space. But then you look at the right and everything changes. It becomes a confident, face-to-face dialogue. It's the difference between an obligation and a real, living relationship. And this is so important to get. That confidence you see on the right, it isn't something we have to earn by stacking up good deeds. The source is crystal clear. It's a gift. It's not based on our own perfection, but on the finished work of salvation. Now, I know this can all sound a little abstract, so let's look at a real-world example of what this kind of bold prayer looks like when the stakes are literally life and death. Let's talk about Daniel. Okay, just look at this chain of events. First, the king makes prayer illegal. The punishment? Death. So what does Daniel do? He goes and prays openly, for everyone to see. That boldness lands him in a den of hungry lions, a death sentence for sure. But that's not where the story ends. We see this incredible moment of divine intervention, and he's saved.
And this is the key. Daniel's courage wasn't just him being reckless. It was a direct result of his deep, confident relationship with God. He trusted that connection so completely that it actually outweighed his fear of, lions. So, we've seen the principle, and we've seen a powerful example. Now the source brings this right back home to us. How does all this transform our prayer life, right here, right now? Just look at what this confident access unlocks. It's not just about feeling better. It's about removing that hesitation that holds so many of us back. It's about building a persistence in prayer because we know we're being heard. It opens the door to tangible things like guidance, protection, and provision. It completely redefines prayer from a hopeful wish into a powerful, life-altering practice. And this brings us to a moment of reflection, really. If we're being honest with ourselves, is our prayer life defined more by confidence or by hesitation? The source encourages us to just stop holding back and to fully lean into the incredible access that we've been given. So it moves from just thinking about it to actually doing something. The challenge isn't just to think differently, but to pray differently. The source invites us to make a conscious decision, today, to pray with a whole new level of boldness. So this is the question we're left with. Knowing that the barrier is gone, knowing that the invitation is to come with confidence, what would change for you? How will you approach the throne of grace with boldness? What would you ask for? What would you believe for? Something to think about.